It's a little hard to explain, but when you have a son with a disability, that connection can become very, very intense. And I think it was so well portrayed in the film. You know, a father can be worrying day in, day out about, what if I'm not here? You know, is my son going to be independent? Is he going to be able to take care of himself? Is he going to have a good life? Is he going to have a connected life with other people? And in a lot of ways, you know, you're helping your son, but your own spirit, you're receiving so much of your own spirit because your spirit becomes so closely connected with your child. And that has a lot of positive things. There are some other aspects of it which, you know, other siblings can feel and that are involved in the whole thing. But in this film, it was so powerful the way it started off. It started off with the father and the son connected with a rope, and the father is going to commit suicide with the son without really consulting with the son, but in the goodness of spirit, you know, worried about his son and what would happen if he's not there. There's also another aspect of that, which as a father you can really feel. Your spirits are so connected that it's almost hard to go on to eternity without your son. So I think there may have been an aspect of that also in that incredibly powerful scene. You know, it is a concern, and Jason's going to talk about this a little bit. Also, you know, it's sort of in the back of my wife and my mind all the time about, you know, is my son going to have a good life? Is he going to be able to take care of himself? But it is important also to have some perspective about the capabilities of people that you're with in this relationship, and to make sure. And so Jason's going to talk a little bit about that. Just a little bit about Jason. He was born in 1988. He had neurological delays. He was slow in walking, slow in talking. He had trouble with his midline. But these were all developmental things. He's worked very hard on these developmental issues and has come a tremendous long way. He also has worked on social skills, and he went to a typical school starting off. He then went to a school for kids with disabilities, but not particular nonverbal disabilities, Asperger type social disabilities. And then he went to a boarding school in Connecticut for 3 years, which, you know, helped him understand his limitations, but also his capabilities, really understand himself and how to advocate for himself. All relationships are different, and I really would be doing a disservice here, you know, just talking about our particular relationship, because every disability is different, every person's different, and that's the beauty of humanity, and that is a lesson that can seep into your very existence through these type relationships. But our relationship very much, I think, has been not necessarily about doing. It's been a lot about being, and our common connection and our common spirit. And you know, Jason's brought an amazing amount into my life. I've never heard him complain about the weather. I've never heard him complain about a place. I've never heard him say he's having a bad day. And most importantly, I have never, ever heard him say a bad word about another human being. And in a lot of ways, I think I've learned a lot. He's really taught me about my humanity, about acceptance and about the appreciation of our differences and how important that is. I just want to add on one thing because it's really important to me. It's off topic, so Anita's going to probably get mad at me, but I was asked by the forward, why are we so passionate about sponsoring ReelAbilities? And I just want to tell a little story quickly. But, our foundation honors all traditions, all religious traditions. We honor all people. But there's a story in the Jewish tradition that's always been very close to me, and that's in the Passover story. There's a part in that story about Elijah and opening the door. And it's a really interesting thing. In the Passover, you're supposed to open the door to allow Elijah to come into your house. And when you think about it, Elijah is a total stranger, somebody totally different, somebody you don't know anything about, and you're allowing that person in your home. And the bigger story even about Elijah was Elijah traveled the world, although he was a prophet, he traveled the world as a beggar. And the story is that when a person or when people were able to accept him, that people would be ready for salvation. And I'm very passionate about bringing this film festival to people because I think it's a mirror to your own soul. But I just want to end quickly with, thank you for allowing us to be here. Thank you for having your spirits connect with ours. Thank you, New York, and thank you, ReelAbilities.
Thank you for having us tonight, and congratulations to the Giants for winning the Super Bowl. I've been to New York many times, but this is probably my favorite time to be able to connect all of you for this great cause. I think this film shows two great dichotomies of opinions, and it shows the goodness that can come in connections between a father and a son, but it can also show the sort of relationship that comes in sort of growing that needs to be done when there's a disability, how sometimes our fears can overcome us and become where we focus too much on what somebody can't do and not focus on what they can do. And that happens in a lot of situations. It's not just disabilities, but it seems to happen more often than sometimes in disabilities. And I think that's important to realize because everybody has capabilities and everybody has strengths that they're not as good at. But that doesn't mean we should be held back by anything, and we should be able to focus on it, to be able to focus on how people are strengthened. I think this movie shows it really well that when the father was very worried, when the father was too worried about it, the son was not able to be as productive. But when the father was able to stand back and sort of let things happen the way they were going to happen, the son was able to be able to flourish because it's tough when as much as I love my family and as supportive as they've been, and they have been very supportive, sometimes the sort of fears that they have also come to you, where it's hard for you to be able to do things, or the fears that they have, they don't always see that you know what's going on. Like when the father was talking about about him trying to kill himself in the room with the aunt, and the son was right there, and I've had that situation where people don't make it, and it's a little bit frustrating, and that doesn't mean that people don't care and people do try, but it's a little bit tough. I think in the end, and one more thing is, I think we have to also be able to listen to people and be able to hear where their perspective come from, because everybody has at least had some awareness of what's going on, and they're able to tell you how they feel, and to be able to listen to somebody else is an important thing. And I think we should all be able to listen to each other and appreciate what we say. And I think that sometimes that doesn't always happen, and if we can just open up our ears and our hearts, we will be able to see each other for who we truly are, and that's the abilities we have, and then we should focus on the abilities, not more than, we can do more than what we can't do. Thank you so much.
Thank you both for joining us. I'm sure this conversation could go on for a while, but I'm sure people want a little nosh and a little something to drink. The diversity that we present here and in our program and with our audiences really is amazing. This week we have films from Iran, from Israel, documentaries, features, and every kind of topic you can imagine. So we look forward to seeing you this week. Thank you, Jeffrey and Jason. And thank you all for joining us. Please join us in the lobby for a special reception, and we look forward to seeing you.